Okay, so this is a short video about the fear of death, and I've wanted to do a little video about the fear of death for a long time because I think it literally is at the root of a lot of our suffering in life. Because as soon as we start to reflect upon ourselves, if we are given that moment, either voluntarily or involuntarily, we start to think about what we've done, who we are, how our life is panning out, and what it all means. And then we start to think about how much time we have and if the life we're living is congruent with a life well lived, almost, I guess you could say. And the fear of death really strikes us at different intervals and different times in our lives. I guess it probably starts to hit us around the middle age, 40, 45, 50. For me, it hit me very, very young. Literally, my first memory is a panic attack when I was looking at my hands and thinking, how did I get into this body and what am I doing here and what's going to happen when I'm not in here anymore, you know? And I've included in this video, I'm just going to put it at the end, what Carl Jung spoke about the fear of death, and how Leo Tolstoy actually wrote about this in The Death of Ivan Ilyich. And he basically said that when you're not living an authentic life, basically you're trying to climb the social hierarchy or you're doing what you think you're supposed to, you're actually dying every day. So you've never actually had a life in and of itself. And I thought that was a really profound idea because I know Leo struggled with existentialism his whole life, especially towards the end. He struggled with death and what he was doing and all that sort of thing. And that short novel, it's very short, was, I guess, all about how he thought a life well lived was. And if you think about that, if you think about when you're living life the way you really want to live, knowing that death is going to happen to you and death is going to happen to all of us, you actually have been given a life. But if you constantly live based on that fear of death by trying to run around getting more time, so obviously you're going to need more money for more time, and then you need to please other people and do what you're supposed to do, all this sort of thing, you've not actually ever lived. You've never really lived at all. So you've actually died. You actually die every day, every time you wake up when you're living a disingenuous life. So this is that, I guess it's the context, and this is what Carl Jung spoke about when he was asked about death. And I think this was recorded 2 years before he died, so it's very interesting. Enjoy.
We should regard death as being a goal,
yes,
and that to shrink away from it is to evade life and
yes,
life purposes.
Yes.
What advice would you give to people in their later life to enable them to do this, when most of them must in fact believe that death is the end of everything?
Well, you see, I have treated many old people, and it's quite interesting to watch what the unconscious is doing with the fact that it is apparently threatened with a complete end. It disregards it. Life behaves as if it were going on. And so I think it is better for old people to live on, to look forward to the next day, as if he had to spend centuries. And then he lives properly. But when he is afraid, when he doesn't look forward, he looks back, he petrifies, he gets stiff and he dies before his time. But when he is living on, looking forward to the great adventure that is ahead, then he lives. And that is about what the unconscious is intending to do. Of course, it's quite obvious that we are all going to die, and this is the sad finale of everything. But nevertheless, there is something in us that doesn't believe it, apparently. But this is merely a fact, a psychological fact. Doesn't mean to me that it proves something. It is simply so. For instance, I may not know why we need salt, but we prefer to eat salt too, because you feel better. And so when you think in a certain way, you may feel considerably better. And I think if you think along the lines of nature, then you think properly.